Listen, it's clear that the recent technological changes that have been happening lately aren't going anywhere soon. Some are growing exponentially while others are being pinned down. I've been attending a few conferences for a while now, and for the longest time, I've keep on hearing these three things coming up, and I'm sure some of you might also heard of it. Let's begin with the Internet of Things, which, just in case you don't know, refers to the interconnectivity from devices to a lot of other things on the internet. We have seen this technology increasing in popularity, and it seems like it will change the way that we live and work in the distant future. While we understand that the main advantage of the Internet of Things is its ability to interconnect and communicate with other systems, processes, and even devices. And that through this process, all of this data that it gathered can be collected and analyzed. But for you and your company to be able to grasp and actually utilize this data, you will need to be able to extract this data and store it effectively. Moreover, as Internet of Things is one of those technology that is ever changing and more company comes with it and build up on it, you will need to be a company that is innovative and agile just so that you can stay on top and ahead of the curve and actually be able to adapt to the changes of the technology. Now, of course, with the massive amount of system and data that you are processing, you will need a robust system to be able to execute this properly. And with that, and depending on how far you want to take things to, Internet of Things can be something that is pretty complex and costly to run effectively. But as of right now, TechTarget estimates that we will see a growth of about 17% to $14.4 billion this year in 2023, and is projected to be at 25 billion at 2025. So we definitely will see some growth in this sector. And so if you're a company that is looking to tap into these spaces and maybe or even a professionals who's looking to see how you can bring your talent to contribute to this area, it's definitely a worthwhile trend to keep an eye on. Artificial intelligence. I'm sure that by now most of you have heard and even tried or using right now ChatGPT and a lot of other AI, and you're probably amazed by the results that it gave you. Quick note that this is one of those technologies that even experts couldn't predict how this will take place in the future. I've personally talked to a few people that is first in the space, so they are an experts, and even them cannot tell me and a lot of other people what this will be in the next year. So there are a degree of uncertainty and fear surrounding AI being able to surpass human intelligence and hit the point of no return, or also known as technology singularity, which is where the Terminator comes to life pretty much. And this has prompted a lot of people to try to shut AI down. As of right now, artificial intelligence is being used as a way to replace or even make a low-value task more efficient by automation. The idea here is to increase worker efficiency so they don't need to spend too much time on this task, but instead can allocate their now free time on a more higher value task. And of course, there's a lot of use cases that is happening outside of a simple automations, but for simplicity's sake, we will not go into that today. For now, being able to identify the best use case for AI in your situations and to invest the appropriate technologies and tools so that you can grasp the power that AI has is the appropriate way for us to extract the best out of AI. I personally believe that AI, as of right now, acts as a tool to amplify human work. And with the AI market predicted to grow from 160 billion this year in 2023 to tenfold of a $1.6 trillion by 2030, it's definitely a lucrative market to be in. And remember, you don't have to be the one who actually being inside the trenches and developing the software. You could simply leverage it to your effectiveness and for the betterment of your business. However, there is one downside that I see that after I talk to a few people who is also heavily invested in AI are also experiencing. And I think that this is one skill that if we are not careful, human will begin to lose as we leverage AI. And that skill is critical thinking. Because think about it, over-reliance on AI and as it becomes more advanced and advanced, it will produce a far greater results than we as an amateurs can do, or even sometimes a professional can do. This is back to the singularity concept. But if that keep on happening, we will end up relying and fall back on AI every time we try to do something. We will not use our brain to think anymore. Because hey, AI does it way better than us anyway. And I don't think I need to explain any further on why this will end up eventually leading for us to not being able to express our creativity, adaptability, and even innovation simply because we just rely on this something that's given to us pretty much. Okay, let's move on to a lighter one, shall we? Or maybe not. Well, it's climate tech and clean tech. You can decide if it's lighter or not. There's been a rise of concerns and attentions given for environmental reasons, and I don't think I need to explain to you why because I think we all know what's happening. Now, I'm not going to that direction simply because this is not what that is about, but clean tech and climate tech is a technology that help us reduce the carbon footprint and mitigate the effect of climate change. And with the world urgently facing the needs of these climate changes, this has led to an increase in demand for more climate tech and clean tech technologies. And the good news is that climate tech and clean tech is a growing industry and investment sector in this area has been increasing rapidly. Take a look at this. According to PitchBook, investment in climate tech reached a record high of $16 billion in 2020. Holon IQ has also reported that there are a total of 70 billion climate tech venture funding for 2022, which is almost doubled from its 2021 figure. Now let's take it local. BDC, or Business Development Bank of Canada, has issued a $400 million fundings for more clean tech and climate tech. This is a positive sign that the industry is growing and gaining traction, and that more and more investors are looking at this industry as a lucrative industry. Some of the sectors that are gaining traction in the climate and clean tech area are renewable energy, energy storage, electric vehicle, sustainable agriculture, and carbon capture and storage. Businesses that are contributing to the clean and climate tech are not only contributing to a more sustainable future, but also a financially beneficial one simply because the growing of demand. In addition, governments from around the world are increasingly adding and making new policies regarding sustainability and green tech, which usually will prove favorable for businesses that are already in the industry and also present new opportunities for the sector. However, it is important to note that the clean tech and climate tech industry are often extremely complex and require a significant capital investment and also intellectual investment. For you who may be interested to dive into this sector further, you may need to be prepared to actually invest or maybe find an investor who are willing to dive and burn a lot of capital at first, especially when you begin the research phase, before you even being able to see profit maybe a few years in the future. So let me know in the comment sections down below, what do you think of these changes? The advantages and the disadvantages, how do you view them? And of course, with all of this, what do you think the future will hold? And I know that beyond these 3 points, there are a lot of other technologies that are being developed right now. Things like quantum computing, blockchain technology, extended reality, and more. But that's a discussion for another day. And as I mentioned, I do like the state of AI right now and how it is useful for us humans. And next week, I will be uploading a video on how AI can actually help in marketing for businesses. So if you're interested in that, make sure you subscribe and turn the notifications bell on. So thank you so much for tuning in today, and I'll see you then.